Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to switch gears now over to our live stream, and coming in from, I think, Paris, I might be right, correct, is Sonia Ben Ali and Paolo Avila, I believe. Are you guys there?
Yes, hopefully you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. How about you, Sonia?
I think her connection just got a little bit bad. She froze on my screen.
Aha, we've got a bit of a connection problem. We're going to...
Yes, guys.
Right. We did hear her. We can hear the video. We might have to, perhaps, Sonia, you might have to switch off the video so that you can, so that you've got enough bandwidth for your Skype call. But let's start with you then, Paolo.
Sure.
You're working on a new, you're working with urban refugees, correct?
Right. So, well, I participated in the hackathon, and urban refugees, Sonia can speak more to it. She's involved with them, and the project has really become on their ownership.
Yeah, fantastic. And so you worked on this product called SMSup, correct?
Yeah, exactly. We put together what we sometimes like to describe as WhatsApp for SMS. The SMSup product, what it does is, in its simplest form, it's a distribution list, but it's all operated through SMS. And so all the actions that you do, you can create a group, you can subscribe to existing groups, and you can post messages to a group that get distributed to everyone that's on the list. And all of it's done through SMS.
So Paolo, why did you guys come up with this product? I'd be interested to know the process because, you know, I think a lot of, you know, fellow geeks out there, we'd say, you know, why don't you just use WhatsApp or et cetera, et cetera. Why don't you just use one of the apps out there? Why did you particularly hone in on SMS?
Right. The thing with WhatsApp, iMessage, other products like that that are out there is they require a data plan, which in a lot of cases people don't have, or the access might not be as readily available. Turns out SMS is a much older technology. It's still widely used though, and I think there's lower barriers for it. Usually a data plan is an addition. It's very common, but just by having a phone, usually you can SMS regardless, and data tends to be something that either costs more or you have to add on to your plan. So SMS is more accessible. So to be able to do something like this through SMS, we thought that we would be able to reach a wider audience.
And so you came up with you did the hackathon. You were part of the hackathon at Tech4Gs last year. Tell us where you are now in the whole process.
We were able to get a working prototype at the hackathon, which was quite exciting to be able to demo it. It stayed mostly in the same form. Sonia has been doing a lot of work to actually try to find a partner in a place that we can go to the next step, which would be to do a trial run. The application exists we've done a few improvements since the hackathon just to make things a little bit easier and a little more stable. And it exists in a very simple form so that we can adapt to it once we do the live trial.
So where do you, do you need any resources to get up and running in a full way? I mean, are you looking for volunteers? Are you looking for partners?
Yeah, so the biggest trouble as far as from the actual product is concerned is, so the cost that's involved in the product is actually the sending out the SMSs, because the other advantage that we provide, obviously people, if they have the capability to SMS, they can just SMS each other. The advantage or what our system allows for is to send the same message to multiple people, but the charge that the individual receives for sending the message is only for one individual message. But of course that cost has to fall on someone, and that falls on us. So we need to either find funding in order to be able to send those SMSs, or partner up with the system we're using. We're running off of Twilio, they have programs that allow for donations or to get a better rate in order to send these messages.
Would it be Twilio that you need to reach out to for that? Maybe we might be able to help on that front.
Yeah, exactly. And we have already. Sonia has spoken to them. I think they have a program that I think it's Twilio.org where they give basically credits to their system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. Sonia's back in. She can definitely speak a lot to some of this.
Sonia, are you online?
Yes, I'm online. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us at Tech Fugees Live. Sonia Ben Ali from Urban Refugees. Sonia, you came to the Tech Fugees hackathon last year in London.
Yes.
And I think let's start off right off the bat to hear more about what Urban Refugees is.
Yes, sure. So basically what happens is that usually when we think about refugees and refugee crises in the developing world, we think of refugee camps. But actually, that does not say the real story of refugees. At the moment, most refugees in the world live in cities exactly like you and like me, because refugee camps do not offer at all very good living conditions, as you can imagine. The problem is that most of the humanitarian attention and media attention keeps focusing on refugee camps. And so our organization, Urban Refugees, was created really to change this. So our organization tries to improve the lives of refugees living in cities of the developing world.
Sonia, what are the particular specific issues faced by urban refugees that perhaps some of the people on our live stream might be able to address with technologies? I mean, obviously everybody uses all of the platforms out there, Facebook, Twitter, Skype, WhatsApp, etc. We all use all of those things, but are there any interesting things that technologists can bring to the urban refugee experience?
Yes, definitely. I think the problem with urban refugees is that people are scattered in wide areas. You know, like refugee camps are limited space. Often you have fence or limits around them. So it's kind of easy to reach out to refugees, and you can know how many people you have in a refugee camp, how many women, how many children. And this greatly facilitates the work of NGOs. But in cities, it's much more complicated. In many countries, refugees do not have the right to live outside refugee camps. So when they live in cities, they can be detained, arrested when they are just basically walking in the street. So many of them keep a very low profile. They try to be as invisible as they can in the city, and this makes the work of humanitarian organizations quite complicated. So I think one of the things that technology could definitely solve is to help reach out to those refugees in safety. Because if someone has a mobile phone, you can know what the needs of this person are if you're able to join him just with your phone. And this is also what we basically strive to do with SMSup. It's basically to tap into the potential of phones in order to better reach out to refugees and also to help them self-organize.
And Sonia, is there something particularly useful about SMS that makes this, particularly pertinent and important for the refugee experience? Is it because of the anonymity of SMS? You don't have to have a profile, you don't have to have a picture, etc., etc.
So yes, indeed, there is this element of anonymity, but one of the biggest elements of SMSup and the reason why we chose to work with SMS is because many refugees do not have a smartphone. And I know that at the moment, a lot of applications are being developed, which is great, but very often you need a smartphone to be able to use those apps. So basically, we want to create a solution that is available to most refugees, because at the moment, according to surveys and research that have been made, most refugees do have a phone. They do have a phone, which in the developing world very often is just a feature phone.
So, Sonia, what are the next steps for this application, and what other things would you like to build, or where would you like to go next?
Yeah, so the idea is basically to first do a pilot in Kuala Lumpur. We are going to launch the pilot in mid-April. We are going to test the solution in this country for about 6 months, try to get as many feedbacks as we can from beneficiaries. And when our solution is well refined, when the model is pretty set up, we'll be able to expand to other countries. The idea is that SMSup shouldn't need any kind of training. Anybody should be able to use it in a very simple, easy way. So the idea is really to test it, refine the solution, and then expand to countries where refugees are.
And I'd love to know, has it been useful to you to interact with the TechFugees community on your projects? Give us some feedback, anything we can improve on. What can we do to help?
I can say it has been absolutely amazing. I've been working in this field, in this refugee protection field for quite some years. And I've always felt that technology was missing, that there's so many things that we struggle with as humanitarians, when actually technology could definitely solve many challenges that we have. So definitely being in touch with TechFugees and also working with Paolo and the rest of the team has been incredible for us, because we're able to build a solution that is absolutely matches the need that we have identified in the field. And I think the technology, the tech community would be of great help to the humanitarian world. And I think it's really important to make those links and to enable NGOs who have needs in the field, and not only big NGOs. I'm also talking about small NGOs, grassroots NGOs that are working in developing countries, to actually tap into the potential of the tech community who wants to give time pro bono to help refugees.
I'd like to quickly add, I come from a different background as Sonia, but the tremendous value in being able to network with people from different backgrounds at the types of events that you guys put on. I found very beneficial. We met there, and we met other people who are helping the project move forward.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining us on TechFugees Live. Sonia Ben Ali and Paolo Avila of Urban Refugees and their product SMSup. Check it out on TechFugees Live. We'll be giving links to all of the apps and of the guests that we'll have on the show today. But for now, thank you so much, Paolo, and Sonia, goodbye for now.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.